Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our career spotlight on policing and protective services with the Blood Tribe Police Service. My name is Lisa Kuntz-Samanuk. I am the Chinook School Division Industry Education Program Facilitator. On behalf of Chinook School Division and the Regina Industry Education Council, we are pleased to be able to have Senior Constable Hadiga Littlechief, Recruiting Officer with the Blood Tribe Police Service, join us here today. Have you ever thought of you might like to learn more about becoming a police officer or a civilian recruit? Perhaps you've considered working in administrative support, the General Investigations Unit, the Community Policing Division, Victim Services, or maybe even crime prevention. Senior Constable Hadiga Littlechief is here with us today to share her experiences in this field and tell you more about the possibility of joining the Blood Tribe Police Service. Listen in and you will learn more about where they are located, various careers within the police service, the application process for both Indigenous and non-Indigenous individuals within the officer recruiting program, benefits, and more. You can also check out the Blood Tribe Police Service on Facebook or Instagram. For those of you joining us today, feel free to post your questions in the chat or ask them directly at the end of the presentation during our discussion and answer period. For future reference, a recording of this video will also be available on the Chinook School Division Industry Education website and Regina District Industry Education website. Feel free to share with anyone who is interested in learning more about the Blood Tribe Police Service and a career in policing and protective services. Please join me in welcoming Senior Constable Hadiga Littlechief. Take it away, Constable.
Okay, Idamixganatini, Nidanaku Exploitsiowaka Saki. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hadiga Littlechief, and I am from the Piikani Nation, and that is located in southern Alberta. I work on the Blood Tribe with the Blood Tribe Police Service. I've been with the Blood Tribe Police Service for 15 years. I originally started off as an auxiliary constable and went to training shortly after, came back, began working as a full patrol constable. From there, I moved into the court unit where I was a court supervisor, and then did some more patrol constable, moved into the administrative sergeant position, and I am now the recruiter for the police service. And I've been in the recruiting position for 5 years. So today, what I'm going to be going over is what and who the Blood Tribe Police Service is. I will tell you what you can do to help yourself become competitive in this process. If you are interested in policing the largest reserve in Canada, which is the Kainai First Nation or the Blood Tribe, you can reach out to me, and I will leave all my contact details at the end of the presentation. So, starting off, I would like to just start off playing a testimonial of a few of the employees within our police service.
We're very involved with the community, get to help people every day.
You have to have compassion, empathy, you have to be a great multitasker.
My name is Constable Charity Blackrider. I am a constable, is assistant to the chief of police. The chief of police is a very hardworking and very busy individual in our community and makes the job easier.
And I like working here because I believe it is imperative in my role as a front receptionist to foster trust with our community and our policing service.
Everybody gets along, we like to have fun, and we all have the same goal in mind where we want to help the community and make it a better place.
I just became the lead firearms instructor, and that's been very fulfilling going to the range. It's been really good.
So those were a few of our police constables and our dispatcher, our civilian employees that help the service to be successful in the day-to-day duties and just help our police service run smoothly. So starting off the Blood Tribe Police Service, our mission statement, we are guided by the principles of Gainai Sini, a declaration of elders who, to summarize, state, govern ourselves according to customs given to our people by the Creator. Therefore, Blood Tribe Police Service maintains and enhances public safety while building a culturally appropriate police service. Like I said, we are on a First Nation. We do police 100% First Nation people, Indigenous people. Our police service is not 100% Indigenous, and I will go over that later within the presentation on applying. Our values are Gamata Fakta Pigsini, and that means compassion. Igakimat, reflect on all that you have accomplished and to persevere. And Anagawa, which means respect. So Blood Tribe Police was established in 1991. It's home to over 12,000 registered Blackfoot members. We are located in Standoff, Alberta. And like I said, that is in southern Alberta, just near, I guess the bordering towns are Lethbridge, Cardston, Fort McLeod, Hill Springs, Glenwood, and Waterton Lakes National Park. And we operate 24/7. So we have a full-time dispatch and we have a full-time patrol constables that work around the clock. We police three main communities. The three main communities are Standoff, Moses Lake, and Laverne. However, there's other areas on the reserve, such as Old Agency, Bullhorn, Fish Creek, Centerlease, Farm 4, and Fort Hoopa. So these aren't necessarily concentrated living areas, but they are areas of the reserve. Just to kind of give you an idea of how big the reserve is. And these are just other areas on the reserve that we police. Currently, there are 29 police officers that police with Blood Tribe Police Service. We have 27 civilian employees, and how that works with the operational division with the officer side is we have the chief of police, which is like the head person that runs the service. We have 2 inspectors, we have 4 sergeants, and then all the constables. For the administrative division, our support staff, we have dispatch, we have crime prevention, fleet and maintenance, guards, court unit, victim service unit, and human resources. So these are all the units within the police service that we have right now. The Community Policing Division is the largest group within the Blood Tribe Police Service. Day or night, our professionals patrol the many communities, assisting neighboring agencies, problem solving in residents' homes, enforcing traffic laws, and responding to every call for service. So we are no different than any other provincial federal police service. We attend calls, we attend emergency calls, we work side by side with EMS, fire, and we just look to keep the communities on the Blood Tribe safe. 76% of the police officers are Indigenous. 28% of the police officers are women. That's 5% points higher than police services in Canada on average. We have 27 civilians who are the backbone of our operation, and 100% of the employees make Blood Tribe Police better. like I said, every person in the service helps the police service run smoothly to the day-to-day operations. So this is what an officer schedule looks like. You will get to work 15, 20 minutes early before your shift starts. The shift starts generally at 7 a.m. or at 7 p.m. And once you arrive, you will go and change into your uniform. You will put your duty belt on. You will make sure you have all your tools and that everything is functioning properly. You will do your pre-shift inspection, which means you will grab your duty bag and you'll put any papers, anything that you might need throughout the shift in this bag. In this bag, you'll put it out in your unit, just so that could include like your snacks, your drinks, because there are times where you will not be able, you might get a big call and you won't be able to get back to the office to grab something to eat or grab a drink. You'll be out on the road all day, or if you're doing an investigation. So it's really important to do this pre-shift inspection. You'll also check the unit. And what I mean by that is you'll walk around the unit, you'll check the tires, you'll check that all the lights are functioning. And that is just to ensure that when you get a call, an emergency call, and you put on your emergency equipment, your lights and sirens, that you know that you checked it earlier and everything was functioning properly. And so you feel confident when you are driving to that call that everything is working, your lights, so that when you're driving down the highway and your lights and sirens are on, that you know they're functioning properly and people can see you. So once you do your pre-shift inspection, you walk around your vehicle, you come inside the office and you sit with your crew in the boardroom with your sergeant, and you'll brief about the day. So there might be passover from the previous night shift. For an example, they might be looking for someone and they'll pass it over, and it'll be up to your crew that is just coming on to ensure whatever tasks are completed from the night before. And just to make sure everyone is on the same page, you guys can essentially talk about whatever. This is kind of where you drink your coffee and you talk with your crew. Once this is complete, it's really up to you. You can decide, okay, I'm gonna go sit at my desk. I need to complete some file work. I need to complete some documents for court. Or you can decide, I want to go out and patrol. I want to go have a cup of coffee with the community members, whatever you decide. And that is probably my favorite part of the job, is I can decide what I want to do in my day. And for myself, I can get very tired just sitting at a desk. So I like to walk around, I like to drive around or patrol, I like to talk to people. And essentially I can really map out how my day will look. Within that, you'll always get calls. You'll get emergency calls, you'll get calls to help, whether it's elders in the community or people at the shelter, or someone just wants to talk to a police officer about maybe something they're going through. But you'll take calls throughout the day. And like I said, you can be involved with the community as you want. So you still have to take calls from the community, of course, because that's your duty as an officer. But I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm an introvert. You know, if going to have a cup of coffee isn't your thing and sitting down with community members or whoever, then you don't have to. Like, if you just like sitting in your unit, patrolling, doing your investigations, that is completely fine too. Then if there's any community events happening that day, you'll attend those, you'll help out. Again, it will be up to your sergeant to say, this officer will attend this community event by leading the run or leading the walk or walking with the community members, whatever it may be. The shifts run 4 on, 4 off. And what I mean by that is you'll have 2 day shifts and 2 night shifts. Then you'll go into your days off. You'll have 4 days off. Then you'll come back on your 2 days, your 2 nights. And our shifts run 12-hour days and 12-hour nights. So when, like I said, your shift starts at 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. And then you'll work till either that 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. So we have recently incorporated new epaulets. And we were the first police service to implement the Blackfoot symbols into our police uniform. The epaulets first came into existence in 2022 in light of Canada recognizing Truth and Reconciliation and the federal police program. The epaulets are worn by senior management. So I'll just go over what each symbol is. Natusi is the sun. It's the top, it's the very top symbol. Right underneath it is the crescent, and how you say it in Blackfoot is Gugitsu, and that means moon. Then you have the star, which is Ipsawasi, that is called the morning star. And then you have Taco, which is a representation of Mars, and it also means Scarface. If you want to know more about the epaulets and their meaning and why we incorporated these into our uniform, again, I would be happy if you reached out to me. I can answer any questions and talk about these symbols. So many times, members of the Blood Tribe Police Service are called to difficult situations where they encounter people who are at their most vulnerable. While in the execution of their duties, police officers find themselves in situations where they have to protect the community as a whole and themselves from dangerous situations. We provide a service to the Nitsiktipi, and that is the core of our existence. So Nitsiktipi means people, like real people. So we provide our service to the people in the community. Again, policing can be a dangerous position. Like it can be a dangerous job, meaning that you do attend emergency calls where firearms could be involved, where violence is happening, where perhaps there's a structure fire and, you have to make the area safe. So there's lots of dangerous situations that police can find themselves in. But ultimately, that is what we sign up for when we decide we want to become police officers. So these are some of the calls for that Blood Tribe Police Service takes. Mischief, so obstruct enjoyment of property, disturbing the peace, causing a disturbance, moving traffic violations, well-being checks, assault, assistance to Canadian police. That could be like our neighbors, like Lethbridge Police Service, Calgary Police Service. We get calls of suspicious people, vehicles, assault causing bodily harm, person reported missing, mental health act, operation while impaired. These are just some of the calls that we take. And just to kind of give you an idea of the call volume here. So our call volume has actually decreased a second year in a row. As you can see, our highest call volume was in 2018 where we were taking 8,000 plus calls per year. And then it went down in 2019, went back up in 2020, and then progressively started to drop 2021 and 2022. And this is just to show you call volume per day. We are lower during Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the call volumes kind of go up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the gray is just showing you 2021 and the blue is showing you 2022. So we like to see where we're sitting. We like to see trends, and that is why we take statistics like this, because it helps us to learn when and where we need our resources. So once you go through the police application process, which is a 7-stage process, if you look on our website, bloodchidepolice.com, you go under careers recruiting, you will see that it's a 7-stage process by filling out an application and a personal disclosure, interviews, and then you do like a polygraph. And then once you're successful through those 7 stages, you get an offer of training. And if you decide, I want to sign this offer of training, I want to be a police officer, I want to go to cadet training, then you'll sign that and we ultimately send you to police cadet training. And at this point, like I said, you would have went through the 7 stages. You would have been dealing a lot with me. Like I said, I'm the recruiter. We would have had a sit down by this point. We would have went through your application, your personal disclosure. We had interviews, panel interviews. Again, that could take anywhere from 3 to 6 months plus. I don't know, I've never went over anywhere over 6 months, but I'm not sure how it is with other police services, but that is 3 to 6 months is generally how long the whole process will take before police cadet training starts and you will be attending. So once you're selected as a successful applicant, then you will attend training, which is 22, 23 weeks. The 22 weeks will consist of cultural awareness training, criminal and provincial law, control tactics, firearms, along with lots of physical activity. You will either attend to Lethbridge or Medicine Hat for training. In January 2024, we are sending police applicants, successful police applicants to Medicine Hat. So Bloodchild Police will provide a living allowance. That is to offset a person who, is working a job and then they want to become a police officer, but they have all these expenses that they're worried about while in training. But just to let you know, we do offer that living allowance. And we also offer housing if you need it. So say the training is in Medicine Hat. If you live in Medicine Hat, then and you are fine with driving back and forth, then that works. If you don't live in Medicine Hat, you're from another province, then we would provide that housing in Medicine Hat so you don't have to make those long treks, just to make everything easier for you, take off some of that stress. So new recruits are provided with fully accredited police training through the Lethbridge College Police Training Program. And we are in partnership with Lethbridge, Taber, Medicine Hat, Canadian Pacific Police, Manitoba First Nation Police Service. Those are just some of the police services that we work with in the police cadet training. Having a recruit class with multiple agencies promotes collaboration and fosters healthy working relationships. We also do our own in-service training. Much of our training beyond basic training is supplied by qualified instructors within the ranks of the Bloodshot Police Service. Instructors include firearms, carbine, taser, radar, and LiDAR, approved screening device, and police defensive tactics, to name a few. Like I said, we work very closely with other police services throughout Alberta. We attend training, events, and support initiatives that advance the issues we similarly face. Because we're a mid-sized police service, having a relationship with larger agencies is really impactful to us. Community involvement. Bloodshot police members attend functions and gatherings often. Community engagement and partnership is the key to our success. A few of the programs and initiatives that we have run are through our crime prevention, our recruiting, our patrols, and our civilian units. We really try to be as involved in the community as they would like. And if they invite us to come out, we love to come out to events and be a part of those events. We have our own teepee, and we set up our teepee anywhere and everywhere that people request. So if they request it at school functions, we will come and set up the teepee there. Every year we set up our teepee at our annual powwow. We also set it up at the Sundance. And like I said, any other events that we're invited to, we will be there and we can set up the teepee. Some other initiatives that we've been involved in are highway cleanups, community cleanups, walks, runs, Kids for Cops, which is held annually. We've done Fry Bread with a Cop, where you can ask a officer any question that you have. We've completed talent shows. We've done and been involved with overdose awareness sessions, and we also do tons of check stops. So policing with the Bloodshot Police Service. A couple things that I wanted to touch on is we are a small service. I told you we had 29 officers. How I think that is very beneficial is we are not a number. We know each other. We can easily have conversations with the inspectors, with the sergeants. We know the chief of police, he has an open door policy. We can go in and talk to him. I feel like another really important reason why I got into policing was to inspire Indigenous youth. That is really important to me. I grew up on the reserve. I still live on the reserve. I have no plans of leaving the reserve. I am truly here to inspire, help, mentor, motivate, whatever I can do to help youth be better, push themselves beyond their limits, because that was me at one point. And I think growing up on a reserve as an Indigenous person, you want to help your people to do better. So that's another reason if you're looking to police with Bloodshot Police Service. Some of the unique qualities of policing on the reserve is we're very community involved. So like I mentioned all the events before, but it really helps when we go to calls and we deal with people. I feel that they are more accepting of us as officers in a uniform. Whereas when I first started, you know, I felt it was very scary. I mean, it still is scary, and it could still be scary for newer officers, but I've been here for 15 years now, and I feel that the community involvement has really helped me in one, learning how to talk to people, two, understanding what people want in their community and how they want to be treated. And just learning to respect the people you work with and for, meaning the community members, including the ones like that, you know, unfortunately, you may have to make an arrest, but you still have respect and you still treat them with dignity. Another unique quality is you're a protector. You're a protector of the community, of your fellow officers, of yourself, of your family. And, you know, if you have this within you, then policing is a perfect opportunity for you to be that protector role for the community. You get to meet people, you get to meet clients that have amazing stories. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, I've dealt with one individual who I've dealt with him since I have started working. And one day I just took the time to sit down with him and really, he told me a whole story and I was so amazed. You would never know that this guy was uh, uh, national boxing championship. He won medals. He had photos to show me. He lived all over Canada. He moved to Europe and he went to school to take theology. And, you know, it was just really unfortunate with how things turned out for him. But I still think of him to this day and I still see him around. And I'm just really honored to like know that story that he shared with me. And you know, a lot of people have stories like that, and it's just really amazing when you sit down and talk to people like that and build that connection. It just makes my job happier. It makes me feel good about myself because I'm taking that time to listen to people. It also helps you build your critical thinking and problem solving skills. So nowadays, like we are just on our phones and I am very bad for it as well. And I love TikTok. I will just scroll past a video. But policing really makes you think and use your brain and kind of push away the phone and the mindless scrolling and really think about like, okay, how can I fix this problem? How can I repair it? How can I be creative instead of just using the usual lateral task way of fixing things? It really helps you to dig into those creative skills, those critical thinking skills, and those problem solving skills. And another thing is you have a really good work-life balance. So again, I said you have the 4 on, 4 off. There are some, I think it's one shift out of the month where you'll do 5 on, 5 off. But you have a perfect life balance and you can take as much overtime as you want, or you can just do your 4 on, 5 on, whatever, and have that time with your family. So it really does have a perfect work-life balance. And the other thing is you have the opportunity to grow if you put in the work. You know, I've really been fortunate enough to have the freedom to decide where I wanted my career to go. And I've been fortunate enough to have mentors that have mentored me to kind of think outside of the box of, okay, policing is just taking calls. I have done more than that, and same for you. If you are thinking of policing, just know that it doesn't just have to be a box. It could be thinking outside of the box. It could be growing. It could be working towards something specific that you want to work towards. So maybe interviewing, or interrogation is your thing, and you just want to be the best at it, then you can work towards that. So those are just some of the things working with the Blood Tribe Police Service that I personally believe, if you want to work with a small service, this would be perfect opportunity for you. We have employee benefits, and if you take a look, we have dental care, extended health care, we have a pension plan, short and long-term disabilities, life and accidental death insurance. And I mean, it's just kind of it's for peace of mind to know that, if anything should happen, that you are always backed up by your benefits. If you need to take some time off, you have that short-term disability, but it's always there to help you out. So as an officer, you'll move up yearly in wage on your anniversary date, the date that you were hired. So as you can see, 4th class constable, this is the starting wage after completing cadet training. Make sure to look under 2022. We have actually increased 3%. So we haven't put out the 2023 table yet, but if you just do that calculation, you can see that 3% of $33.16 an hour. From there, like I said, you'll move up every year that you started. So say you started July 2023. July 2024 will be your anniversary date, and you will increase in wage yearly. And I just would like to play our recruiting video. So I just wanted to say with that is we are recruiting. If you are interested, you can reach out to us by applying on our website at bloodtribepolice.com, or you can reach out to me at recruiting@bloodtribepolice.com, and I will have that information uploaded with this video. I am very easy to get a hold of, so you can email me and I can answer any questions you have. And just remember, you do not have to be an Indigenous person to apply with us. We are very diverse, and that is what we want. So reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Constable. I have a few questions for you. My first question is, How might students find out more if a career in policing and protective services is for them? So when they're in high school, how might they realize this is something that they would be interested in?
Um, if they, like I said, if if you've ever thought about policing, if you've dealt with a police officer growing up and you thought that would be a career for you, helping you'll hear this a lot, and I wish I could articulate a deeper meaning to helping people, but truly you can, like I said, when I mentioned the story about working with the one guy and he told me his story, um, I still go and see him and he's really made me change the way I think and the way I talk to people now. Um, he has done so much in his life and it was just very fulfilling. So I think if you're looking for a very fulfilling, open, honest career, then this would be a career for you.
So what do you think then students could do in high school to prepare themselves for the possibility of entering the police service in the future?
To prepare yourself, you can start by fitness is number one, of course. Running, I would say just start running. That is number one because there is a fitness test and it's very important to be physically fit throughout your career. It along with like taking calls, we do sit a lot, meaning that when we are patrolling, we're sitting. When we're at our desk, we're sitting. Unless you physically go out and walk through our town sites, then physical fitness is very important. So that's number one. Number two is police services are becoming very interactive and are hosting lots of programs online where they give you tips on how to become competitive. So number one is interviewing. If you just look on any police service website and it will show different workshops that they offer and you can sit in on them if they offer them online or you can attend in person. There might be an age restriction, I believe 18, because that is the minimum requirement to apply as an officer. So you might have to be 18 years of age. But if it's online, you may be able to attend online if you're younger. So that's number two is just start looking at police services and what they have to offer, what kind of sessions they have to offer. Volunteer is really good. So start volunteering. It's really good to see that people take the initiative and, use their own time to go out and physically help people. And I guess the third thing would be integrity. So, if just being honest with who you are, what you do, um, staying away from, if you see something happening where people are doing drugs, leave the area. Or if you know someone is going to be drinking and driving, maybe try to stop that or let someone know. But that's what integrity is. Integrity is doing something when no one is watching. So having that mindset right now, start working towards that. I would say those would be the main things for me.
Awesome, thanks. How did you personally know that you were interested in policing?
Personally, I, since a young child, was dealing with police officers, and that was because I I was in foster homes as a child, and I had my own dealings with police services or police officers, and just growing up, they were never bad interactions, but I mean, when you are being taken from one home to another, as a child, that's scary and it could seem bad for you, but I, for myself, just wanted to be a person that, a familiar face for people on the reserve to feel safe. And I really wanted to be the person that, you know, younger people can say, like, she did it, I can do it too, because it really wasn't an easy road for me. So I really want to enforce that message is, even if you are going through hard times right now, you can always overcome that. And I promise you, life is up and down. And if you're going through a down right now, it'll be up. And if you're in an up right now, like, it's such a roller coaster. So yeah, there was at one point where, you know, I didn't think that I would be here, but I am, and I really worked hard towards it.
Thank you for sharing that. It's very inspirational to see, you know, what you've been through and how you've made chosen a career that's inspiring and helps the community. And as you said before, when you were talking, that you really want to be there to inspire youth. And I think that that's what a career in policing does. And it is an attainable career for people, although they may not feel that they can attain it. They absolutely can. What's the percentage of officers who aren't from, you know, you shared how many are not Indigenous, but what's the percentage of people who are not actually from the blood tribe?
I would say, I'm just estimating right now, just thinking at the top of my head, but 50%. So we have people like, we have officers from Ontario, we have officers from Saskatchewan, Manitoba. I don't believe we have anyone from BC, but definitely all over Alberta. And yeah, so throughout the province, people, so I would say about 50%.
That's very good to hear because they're, you know, of course, the audience that's watching this are not necessarily people from the blood tribe. They're from all over Saskatchewan and various nations across the country. So it's interesting to know that it is something that you can be recruited for. Um, can a person become a blood tribe police officer and then say in 5 or 10 years decide they want to go to another police service somewhere? And if so, like, does that occur very often or?
Yeah, so if you apply with Blood Tribe Police, we would hope that you would stay for at least 5 years. But of course, life happens. You and your family might want to move depending on circumstances of life. And you can apply with any other police service as an experienced police officer. So it's, like I said, you can really shape your own career.
That's good to know because, as you said, life does change, and so somebody might go into this police service, and then in 5 or 10 years' time, decide, you know, life has happened, and we want to join something else, move somewhere different, and they can take that experience and go elsewhere. So that's exciting to see. Well, I think we've come to our end. That's all my questions. On behalf of the Regina Industry Education Council and Chinook School Division, I would like to thank you for your presentation today. Your presentation was very informative and helped to showcase an area that perhaps students had not even considered as a potential career. And it's very inspirational for youth to hear. Thank you to those who chose to join us here today. Thanks again.
Thank you.